Now I have the pleasure of introducing our next speaker, Dr. Musa Mohamed. As I mentioned previously, he was a teacher at the Markaz at Ihsaan, and he still continues to associate with us in many ways. Whenever we have these functions, we look forward to hearing him and his input. As a teacher in Markaz, he used to always have these many debates with Dr. Waffie, and I used to be there amongst them, arguing different points on Islam, and about the Quran, about Hadith. It was quite fascinating, and the conclusions they always reach, and somehow you always seem to be convinced by Dr. Waffie at the end. It was a great pleasure. Dr. Musa is a doctor of science, of medical science, agri-science actually. He was quite important in the production of cane production at Caroni Limited for many years. He came from Sudan, and he has been with us, and he fell in love with Trinidad. I think the people of Trinidad, and he stayed here, and his wife, and his children, and everything. It was a great pleasure now. And I said, as he is a tutor of the UTT, University of Trinidad and Tobago lecturer. And it was a great pleasure now to introduce Dr. Musa Mohamed, his topic will speak on today is niyat, our intention, which is most important for us, as we will be judged and such, because of our actions. Dr. Musa.
من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I seek refuge in Allah from Satan, the rejected one. I begin in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Peace be unto you and the mercy of Allah and His blessing. Our worthy chairman, the gathering of our ulama, my dear beloved brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh again. As the chairman has mentioned, my topic is intention. The reason why I asked Dr. Waffie to talk about this, because I have come across a number of pamphlets and brochures and things like this, writing near to break the fast and writing near to intend to fast. There's a lot of mess in the Arabic translation. So I make the effort today, inshallah, to try and rectify this, at least for the gathering here. Maybe in the future, we will be able to look at these brochures and see if we could correct them. The Prophet ﷺ has said in one hadith, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَا نَوَى, which simply means that all deeds or all actions are governed by intention. And to everyone, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him or grant him or her his intention. So this hadith tells us clearly that any act of obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to be preceded by a sincere intention. I had a discussion with Dr. Waffie, as the chairman just mentioned. We spoke about purpose and intention. Purpose and intention. Maybe later on in the discussion we'll elaborate on that. Purpose means that, what is the purpose of fasting, for example? Purpose of fasting is to fulfill an obligation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala according to what is ordained in the Quran. That is the purpose. But that doesn't mean it's the intention. The intention is you intend to fulfill that purpose. So two of them are completely separate. For example, if we want to make salah, we have to make intention for Fajr Salah. We cannot make intention for Fajr Salah and then perform Zuhr or Asr. It will be nullified. People who went to Hajj, for example, when you come, you make your intention for the Umrah. Oh Allah, I intend to make the Umrah. Make it easy for me and accept it from me. Even when you want to make ablution of wudu, you have to also make niyat. I intend to perform wudu. Furthermore, when we procreate with our spouse and we want to bathe, we have to also make intention that we want to bathe because we want to relieve ourselves from the uncleanness to be ready to pray. All these things are very important in our deen. For example, itikaf, those of you who want to make itikaf in the month of Ramadan, they cannot just walk in the mosque like this and say, I'm going for itikaf and walk inside the mosque without intending, in other words, either pronounce it or say it in your heart. You don't necessarily do, but you must say that you intend to remain in the masjid for the 10 days or 9 days in the month of Ramadan, the end of the month of Ramadan, in the masjid. That is your intention, and you'll be rewarded for it. There are also something very interesting with niyyah, with intention. Suppose I said I intend to sponsor a student in Markaz Ihsaan until he or she finishes the certificate, and I couldn't do that. I back out. In other words, I didn't have the money. I will be rewarded for that with intention. On the other hand, if I intend to commit a crime, for example, and then I change my mind, I will be punished for that intention. This is the beauty about Islam and about the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, since we are going for a discussion, I don't want to go too long. I will go into the meat of my topic, which is the niyyat of Ramadan, the niyyat of fasting Ramadan. The niyyat in Arabic goes like this: Allahumma inni nawaitu sawma qadin an adai fardi shahri Ramadana lihadihi sana lillahi ta'ala. You will get that translation in most of the script, which, as I said, is in a mess. Translation, because this Arabic here is in past tense. I teach Arabic, so I know what I'm talking about here. It's all in the past tense. The other one, the final, but this one here is in the future. This one, the way to mean, I intend. So you must make this niyyah before the break of dawn, because some of the translation goes. Instead of saying fast, they will say fast for today. If you say fast for today, that means you already enter the break of dawn. So your intention is incorrect. Your intention has to be done in the night. Remember, the Arab day start, or the Islamic day start on sunset. So when the sun sets, you have to make your intention before the break of dawn to fast tomorrow. So this is the translation goes like this: Oh Allah, I intend to fast tomorrow in order to perform my duty of fasting the compulsory month of Ramadan of the present year for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let me read it again. Oh Allah, I intend to fast tomorrow in order to perform my duty of fasting the compulsory month of Ramadan of the present year for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you did that after the break of dawn, it cannot work, because you intend to fast after the break of dawn, not before. Now, the other mistake that a lot of people also do, this is the one which is in the past tense, the one when you want to break the iftar. Somebody will come and say, okay, and the adhan time for adhan, the muazzin will call the adhan, and the imam or the person in charge will raise his hand and say this: Allahumma laka sumtu wa ala rizqika aftartu. Now, this has to be done after eating, because it is past tense. Listen to the translation. Oh Allah, for thy sake I have fasted, and I broke the fast with the sustenance you provide. So the person who called the adhan, when he has certain that the sun set, he will take a piece of a sip of water or a piece of date. After that, he will go and call the adhan. Immediately after he called the adhan, or in fact before that, people could break the fast and make the own dua. It's the individual dua, because we are talking here personally. Allahumma laka, I am talking about myself. But the imams and other people facilitate people who don't know to make the niyyah. But it is a personal need. When you do it collectively, no problem. But it has to be done after you take a piece of date. This is how it goes. Oh Allah, for thy sake I have fasted, and I broke the fast with the sustenance you provided. So this is how we have to correct this thing, because a lot of people don't understand the Arabic language, and even the transliteration and translation and so on has to be corrected. Inshallah, we will go into the discussion more later on. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah, Dr. Musa.